This is the Estelle House. Under the first mayor of Estelle Manor was a woman, and she owned this house, and the family owned it, I believe, up until 1937, at which time they done sold it to, I believe, the state of New Jersey at that time, and they had a home for delinquent boys. And of course, after that, it became vacant, and the county bought it back in about 1993, I believe. And we have aspirations of seeing it connected to the Veteran Cemetery, which is located directly behind here. This building has been designated by the county to be restored and remodeled, which evidently will take a couple of years. The committee's job is to create the necessary paperwork that is going to be used for anything that we collect or are donated to us for the museum. And of course, we will have to do temporary storage and climate-controlled storage for that material. And the end result is that it is going to be a history lesson in action. We're hoping that all the educational facilities of this area will come forward after it's completed to learn the history of what the men and women of this county put together during all the wars.
And it's the cemetery which also adds to the uniqueness of this the Veterans Museum being here. It's really within a quarter-mile drive of the Veterans Cemetery. In addition to widening the road to the cemetery, we're expanding the cemetery. We're starting off with a 1-acre expansion this year, and then within the next several years, an additional 5 acres of expansion. You can see how much work's needed. We're just in the final phases of the permitting phases and design, and it really is expected to be about 2 years before we could consider opening it. And that's the importance of the museum committee now, is there are a lot of people that have artifacts that they'd like to donate, and unfortunately, as people pass away, some of those artifacts get lost. So since the decision's been made to make this a museum, Veterans Museum, it seemed appropriate to start trying to figure out how to collect and store the artifacts.
Veterans and spouses already buried in the Veterans Cemetery. The original first burial was in 1986, and it has been very actively being used. Of course, World War II veterans, or average age now is over 90 years of age. Some are just 88 or 89. Korean War was only 7 years later, so the end result is that they are adding to the numbers real quick.